Going live. Okay, the Hangout is now live. Here we go. Pete, if you can mute your mic, please, that'd be great. Welcome, everybody. This is Crash. Just going to check to see if we've got some people in here. We've got a few people in. Hi, everybody. How are you? Long time no see. It's been a while, and I know everyone's missed each other. So I think it might be wise to just get started, and anybody who joins us along the way can just kind of, if they miss something, they can always watch the recording later on, okay? So thank you very much for joining me. This is Prash here at the ProSpring head office in Malta. It's been a while since we last spoke, so my apologies for not having a webinar scheduled for our team for a few weeks. Unfortunately, it all got on top of me. The whole April promo thing was going full swing. There's lots and lots of stuff going on in here. And then my system had a hiccup. So my laptop is actually in the hospital having heart surgery. Right? So hoping that I won't need a transplant, but I had a call from the laptop people today thinking I might need a new motherboard. And motherboards on a Mac, let me tell you, costs about €600 or €700 here in Malta, so that's going to be an expensive op. But I borrowed somebody else's laptop. In fact, some of you might have communicated with someone called Lena here at the office. I borrowed her laptop. Thank you, Lena, for lending me your laptop so I can talk to the team here. So a lot's been going on. The April promo was really, really busy. I'm going to give you an update on that. We're gonna. It might be an idea just to tell us who's online actually today. So, John's here. Welcome back, everyone. Hey, John, Graham, and Pam. Welcome. David and Lorraine says we see you. Great. Anybody else want to chime in and just say hello? Please do. Always nice to hear from you and see where you're all from. So today's going to be pretty short, and I know I say this every single time we do a webinar, but I am going to try and keep it short today. Because, hey Val from Durban, good to see you. We're going to cover a couple of things. One, I'm going to give you an update. I had a meeting with Jamie today at length about what happened with the April promo, what the results were, what difference it's made to our business, and also a quick catch up on all the stuff that was outlined in the company webinar a few weeks ago, which is all coming to ahead now. So I've got some news on that. Some of you may have, all of you should have received a survey from the company, which it ties into all the stuff that the company is putting together for us. So I'm going to discuss that with you, give you an update on where we are with all that stuff. And then I'm going to quickly cover how I got 100% close rate on the last 5 frontline direct referrals at ProMember that I brought in, and what I did, right? And before I actually spoke to those 5 prospects, these are people that I've known for a long time, by the way, and I'd recently spoken to them when we first launched ProSpring, and at that point they declined to come in for whatever reasons they had. Some of them were busy with other things, some of them were sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what was happening, whether we'd still be around a few months down the line, and all that good stuff. So I came up with a way of speaking to them that really worked, right? So I'm going to share that with you. It's just 6 points that I covered, which got them all really, really excited and enough to join the business on the spot. So there was no I'm going to think about it, no hanging around, no none of that stuff. Straight in at the pro level. And that really works. So I think I'm gonna share that with you, and hopefully that'll give you some more ammunition to use when you're talking to brand new prospects as well, which we do, well, we should be doing on a consistent basis. Okay. So, oh my God, can you hear that? Can you hear the music in the background? That's the neighboring office. So we're in a building with lots and lots of gaming companies, and I'm the oldest person in the entire building because everybody else is young pups from Scandinavia, Finland, and Denmark, and all those sort of places. and they have loud music and all that kind of billiard, pool tables and game, one of those not ping pong, what are those called? Those machines that they have. Lots and lots of video games and that kind of stuff. So there's quite loud occasionally. Okay, so if everyone's settled in, let's just quickly get into it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick update. Okay, on what happened. I've got my notes here as always, so I'm going to keep looking down at them. Hopefully, they won't distract you too much, and you'll get to see my shiny bald head, right? And the light. I don't have the lighting here today. I actually left it at home, so we're just using the office lighting today. Normally, I have two big lights pointing to me so that you can see me in all my glory. I know I'm good to look at. Fun. Okay, so we had this promo in April, right? And a lot of us used it. It went really well. So, when I spoke to Jamie about this, I didn't know the numbers. I noticed the numbers in my social circles, and I noticed my blitz points increasing. And I noticed my blitz tickets increasing. I noticed increases in multi-wins, but I didn't actually know the full numbers. So the result of the April promos was that we brought in over 600 new members in our social circles, right, throughout the month of April. And that was just from the promotion itself, not counting the normal traffic that we're always getting and the normal influx of members that we have on a monthly basis, right? This is just 600 brand new prospects joined our teams from the people who had originally showed an interest and opted into the ProSpring pre-launch period. Okay, so that's really good news. Lots are still in the funnel, so those funnels are still running. So we're expecting a few more to drop in. Obviously, the April promotion is now over, and that's not available anymore. But we do have, as you know, a new blitz point allocation for personal referrals. And if you haven't heard about that, just so you do know, every single person that we bring in as a lotto player will earn us a 300 blitz points, basically a blitz ticket. For every new lotto player that we bring in personally, we get a blitz ticket. Okay, so it's really simple to explain. Sponsor a new lotto player, they join your social circles, and you get a blitz ticket. Okay, and every new pro player that we refer personally, we get 600 points. We get 2 blitz tickets. Okay, so that is a really amazing offer that the company has put out for us. So that's really good. The April promotion is over, but this is actually better, right? It's actually better for us. So the reaction was amazing. I saw lots and lots of chatter. We saw lots and lots of Facebook posts. People are starting to use the new magazine site that the company have put together with all the shareable links. I see people using it all the time. I'd love to get some feedback from you guys in terms of how user-friendly it is and how if you've got any results from it. That'd be great to know as well. So you got my email address. Do ping me an email every now and then. Let me know how things are going if you're using the systems. And the systems were put together. And I think everybody I've spoken to about the ProSpring magazine site, which all the shareable content, everyone's been very impressed with it, right? And I've used it myself, and a lot of people I know have used it. And if you haven't used it yet, it's super simple. Please go to the magazine site. There's instructions on how to use it. Just use it. It's amazing. Okay. The reaction we had from the existing members towards the April promo was really good as well. People started bringing in new members that they'd originally spoken to who declined, which was the case with me, right? So I went back to some of the people that I'd originally spoken to, and that said no to me. So a no is a no for now, right? Not a no forever. And I practice what I preach. So I went back to some of those people, and I got 5 people to join me, and I'm going to tell you how I did that, which I think is quite interesting. So things are definitely starting to build. We've got new momentum. There's lots and lots of stuff that the company are working on in terms of increasing the amount of tools that we can have. One of the things that Jamie had mentioned was the dedicated opportunity site for ProSpring. Okay, now that's been in development. It's looking really swish. And also the live webinar system that the company is putting together. Did you hear that? the live webinar system that the company is putting together for us, okay? So all of that stuff's in development, lots and lots of stuff going on, tons of stuff been written on that already. And then Jamie had a bit of a brainwave to really make all of the new presentations effective. And they're spending quite a lot of time and money on this for us so that we can have systems that we can just send people to and rely on the system to do the presentations and allow us to then follow up and then show people how to get started in the business, okay? That's something that'll never go away. We'll always have to follow up, and we'll always have to, particularly personal referrals, right? Some of you guys who are internet marketers, the follow-up sequences put together by the company, that's there too. So that will also do the job. But if you're speaking to people that you already know, that you're exposing this opportunity, then you owe it to them and to owe it to yourself to follow up properly, and that'll never go away, in my opinion. That's one way. That's one surefire way of actually landing people in your business, is to actually properly follow up, and that's not going to go away. But the systems that the company's putting together, they want them to be as effective as humanly possible, and in order for that those presentations to be really, really effective, Jamie thought that it might be a good idea to actually find out from existing members what is it that appealed to them about this opportunity. What was the buying decision? What drove them to join? What's keeping them involved? What is it that they like about this opportunity? Perhaps, sometimes we always, as you know, when you're presenting something, you kind of always present your best with your best foot forward. But sometimes the reason why people come in are quite individual, and we don't actually know what they are, right? And it's always a good idea to do these surveys. And that's the reason why Jamie has sent out this survey. And if you've received this survey and you have completed it, brilliant, thank you very much. If you've received it and you haven't completed it yet, please do, because all this information is going to be used by the company to tweak and hone the actual presentations to say the stuff that will appeal to other people. If something that really touched you about this opportunity that made the decision for you, then let us know so we can use that in the presentations, because you're not alone. There'll be lots and lots of other people just like you who will also be enthused by hearing this thing, whatever that thing is, okay? So the members survey has gone out, and that's to find out what drove you to join, why did you join, okay? We want to find out all the reasons why people join, and we want to use those reasons in our presentations, okay? The other thing the company is also doing is the 60,000, around 60,000 or 50,000 people that joined us in the pre-launch who didn't join. 10% of them have now joined, okay, through the April promotion. All the rest who didn't join, the company is sending out a completely separate survey to them to find out why they didn't join. Okay, what was it? Was it trust? Startup company, we don't believe you're going to last. We don't believe that you're going to pay out the money. We don't believe you are legal, or we don't believe whatever it is, right? What made you not join? Was it payments? You tried to pay and you couldn't pay. Was it the quality of support offered? You didn't get the level of support you needed from the company or the support team here, or your upline or your team. What was it, right? Was it that it was too expensive for you, right? Or it was too complicated, you didn't understand it, and you couldn't quite decide? What was the reason why you didn't join? And the company's offering the €1,000 in prizes, just to to pick out at random for people who do participate in that survey, because we want to find out if a lot of people say, look, it was the trust factor, then we need to add some weight into the presentations that increase the trust factor, right? If it was the fact that we weren't getting the right support, then we need to look at that and see how we can address that in our presentations to make people feel that we do have a really good support system in place. Whatever it is, whatever reasons that we can find out, that we find out why people didn't join, it gives us an opportunity to reverse that and put it into the presentation and knock the objections out of the way up front. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So all of this information is being now gathered. I think the survey for the people who didn't join is going out tomorrow. Obviously, you're members, so you're not going to see that survey unless you have a dummy account. You signed up for the pre-launch, then you signed up again using another email address or something like that. You might see it, okay? But if you are like me and just have one account, then you're not going to see that survey. So it's only for people who didn't join, okay? So all of that information that the company's going to gather, they're going to put that information into the ProSpring opportunity website, okay? They're going to put all that information into the ProSpring business opportunity webinar system that the company's putting together. It'll include it all, okay? So all of that stuff is being worked on right now, and it's in process right now. Some of you have seen that. If you've seen the survey, just type in, let me know you've seen the survey, that you completed it. So I know some of you guys have seen it, okay? That'd be really good for me to know. All this intelligence, you know, we see surveys all the time, right? But, you know, not everybody likes completing surveys. I don't like completing surveys, to be honest. You know, when we do have it with our own company, then it's almost our duty to help the company hone the marketing message that will help us in return to bring in people faster, easier, right? So thank you, Dave Lorraine. So see that, well done. Okay, so that's kind of a quick update on what happened with the April promo. A lot of new people joined, new enthusiasm, new excitement. All the stuff that's been promised us is being worked on right now. And there'll be an email going out tomorrow to all the people who didn't join to find out why they didn't join. And once all that information is in, basically the company is going to do a data mine, do an analysis on that, pick out the biggest reasons why people joined, and use them in the presentation. The biggest reasons why people didn't join, and use them, reverse them, and use them in the presentations. So what we've managed to do is make our presentations a lot more intuitive, and a lot more accurate, and hopefully a lot more engaging, a lot more exciting enough for people to say, yeah, that sounds really great, I'm in. Okay. So that's a short update on what's happening here at HQ. Now, the other thing I wanted to cover was this. You know, I managed to. Okay, I mean, some of you are going to probably sit there and think, okay, but Prash, you're Prash. You know, you've been involved with this thing since day one. You know, you're experienced, you can present, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I get nervous. I get nervous every time I do this webinar. You know that? Every single time I do this webinar, I get nervous. And I kid you not, almost every single time I take a quick drink just to calm my nerves. There's a bottle of whiskey around here somewhere. I always swig a quick whiskey or pop down to the pub and have a quick pint or something. Unfortunately, for today's webinar, I'm on this health drive, trying to get fit and healthy, and I'm on a 1 month intensive. I've been on this journey for like 18, 17, 16 months or something like that. Lost 20 plus kilos and trimmed up, 4 trouser sizes reduced. My entire wardrobe is completely decimated. I've had to buy an entire new wardrobe. So that's been fun. Yeah, you know, everyone's happy in the family that Mr. Patel is no longer, you know, the walking whale. You know, but my personal trainer has put me on this intensive one month program where I cannot touch alcohol, so I can't drink. So the reason why I'm nervous today is because I've not had a way of calming my nerves. That's why I'm a little bit nervous. So, okay. I sat down recently, just before the April promo, and had to think about, you know, bringing in some more new frontline members in, because I'm always talking about bringing new people in. And honestly, I kind of stopped a little bit. I was bringing 1 or 2 here and there, but, you know, I wasn't really going for it, and I didn't feel good about that, right? So I decided to bring in another 5 people. And when I bring in people, I genuinely work with them. So I don't bring in too many people that I can't handle. That's my style. There are lots of people here who will bring in 50, 60, 100 people and that works for them, great. For me, it doesn't quite work that way. I always like to work with quality people and give them quality time and get them up and running and get them initiated and make sure they're standing on their own 2 feet and they're making money, and then I kind of teach them to teach other people, and then all that good stuff. So I sat down and I kind of asked myself a few questions, right? And the questions were like, what would I need to hear if I was being presented with an opportunity? What is it that I need to hear? I mean, I get pitched constantly, as you guys do too, I'm sure, right? I mean, the opportunity world is rife, particularly with the internet. Every day there's something new coming out, and every day somebody comes out of woodwork that you haven't seen in a while, and pings you and said, "Hey, I've got something new for you to have a look at." And we get pitched all the time, and we kind of become a little bit numb to it, right? And almost, and this is just really bad of me, but I prejudge immediately, right? Almost immediately I prejudge people coming to me with new opportunities, and I shouldn't do, because I should give everybody a chance to just at least tell me what they're doing. But so I sat down and said, look, what makes an opportunity good for me? Okay, what are the things that I need to hear? What do I need to know? Right? What do I need to understand about an opportunity in order for me to say, you know what, that's good, right? What are the things? So I sat down and kind of, worked it out, because what I realized is that I almost, every time I look at an opportunity, I always use these 5 or 6 points automatically, right? I never actually boiled it down to any formulas. This is another thing. Doing these webinars with you guys is making me think about the stuff that I've done. I've never been a great trainer, to be honest. I'm not the world's best trainer or whatever, because I never sit down and write stuff down, right? But these webinars are actually forcing me to sit down and look at what I do and what I've done and where my successes have come from and how I've managed to do what I've done, and actually document it so that I can share it with everybody. And I think it's valuable stuff. At least that's what you guys tell me, right? So I kind of wanted to. I always look at opportunities in a particular way, and I always look at a set number of things that I need to know about an opportunity, and in a set order. Okay, so I actually documented it, and I'm going to go through it with you. There's only 6 points, right? I kind of boiled it down to a formula where that is 6 points. That's it. Okay, and I used these 6 points, right? Because I thought, if that's what I need to know, then perhaps the people I was talking to were two of them have never ever done anything like this before. Okay, 2 have never done anything like this before. They're from the gaming industry, but they've never done anything like this before. And 3 are people who have experience in this type of industry, right? And I'm talking about MLM, not gaming. Okay, so I thought if I need to hear these things, maybe I'll just use that and see if that works for them. Okay, so here are the 6 points. If you've got a pen and paper, you might want to write it down. And I'll rattle them off first, and I'll go through each one with you. Okay, so point number 1, the first thing I always look at in an opportunity are the people. Always. Okay, I want to know the people. Who's behind this thing, right? The second thing I want to look at is the plan. Is the money, right? I want to know there's money in this thing, because if there's no money in it, there's no point, is there? The third thing I look at nowadays are systems. Are there any marketing systems in place to help us use modern technology, help us to reach people where they are at today? Everybody's on social media. Are there tools available in this opportunity that I could use to help me to reach people faster, scale, bigger, quicker, right? The fourth point I look at is the product. I don't look at the product first. I'm not a product-centric guy. Okay, I'm just not. I look at the product stroke industry. That's the fourth thing I look at. And I'm going to tell you in a minute why I look at these things in this order. Okay, for me, it is the most important way of looking at it. For me, it might work for you, it might not. You might want to reorder the things for yourself, whatever works for you. Okay, but I look at the product stroke industry fourth, okay, after people, plan, and systems. Then, once I know about the product, I want to know what's different about this product. What is it about this product that stands out in comparison to everybody else that's in this market? Okay, what can I latch on to that makes that product unique? Okay, so that's what I want to look at. And then I look at the timing of the whole thing, right? I want to look at the timing. Is it a good time, right, for this thing? Is it a good time for me? Is it a good time for this opportunity? That's the last thing I look at. So I'll repeat them. People, plan, stroke money. Systems, marketing systems. Product stroke industry. Differentiating factor, the uniqueness, what's different. And then timing. Those are the 6 points. And I'll look at them in that order. So let me tell you why. I'll drill through each one of them one by one, okay? I'm just looking and keeping a check on the time. So why do I look at people first, okay? It's very, very simple. Some of you guys will already know this. Great ideas are a dime a dozen out there. A dime a dozen. People who make ideas work, not so many, particularly in our industry, right? Look at how many opportunities come alive and go dead within months in this industry, right? Ideas, dime a dozen. Good people, that's a completely different story. So I want to know, who are the people first? Because here's the thing I learned a long time ago from a very, very successful guy. He'd made $800 million in the oil industry. And something he said to me a long time ago always stuck with me. He said, Prash, what I do is I put a good team of people together first. People who have a vision, who are experienced, who are competent, trustworthy. I put a team together first. If you get the right team together, you can do anything. You can market any product. You can conquer any industry with good people, right? Because good people, they know how the foundations of any business, right? That's why I always look at the people first, because you want to know that if you're going to put your heart and soul and time, effort, money, reputation into an opportunity, that it's not going to get trashed. It's not going to, and I, you guys, some of you guys already know what happened just before we launched with another opportunity in this arena, right? Look what happened. So many people almost lost their credibility on that one, right? And through no fault of their own. Why? Because of the people. The opportunity was sound, but the people weren't. They had no experience. They didn't know what they were doing. Okay, that's the God's honest truth. So I always look at the people first. And obviously, in this opportunity, I have a privileged position because I know the people intimately behind the scenes, because I've been with them for 15, 16 years, right? And I know these people. I know what they're capable of. I know they're trustworthy. I know they're competent. I know they got money. I know they got, you know, huge amounts of talent. I know they've got resources. You know, there's everything behind. So one of the first things I always look at is people, because, you know, I've seen some of the most horrible products, some of the most ordinary products in the world do billions of dollars in sale because they had really good people running the show, right? I mean, I won't name any names, but there's a diet product came out of the USA a few years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago. It was just diet powders. That's all it was. They did $1 billion in their first 3 years. First 3 years from a standing start. Massive growth on a, you know, yet another powdered milkshake thing. Nothing new about it at all. $1 billion. You know why? There's some super smart people. And I've seen the craziest, amazing ideas go down the toilet with some really, really bad management, right? So if you're serious, and when I look at an opportunity, I'm relating everything to me, because when I look at an opportunity, I'm not like a opportunity junkie, right? If I look at it seriously. I commit minimum 1 year to it, come what may, right? If I make my decision, I've made my decision soundly, and then I know I'm going to give it minimum 1 year, maybe even 2 or 3 years, I'm going to hit it hard and keep going, make it happen. Okay, so you need to know that you're teaming up with a bunch of people that won't let you down. Okay, sure, technology will, but they'll figure it out. Sure, some marketing stuff won't work, they'll figure it out. Sure, some product line stuff will mess up, they'll figure it out. Any problem there is, the people will figure it out, and they'll keep the business rolling. That's why I look at the people first. Okay, so that's one of the things I spoke to about these guys. It's like, and I took it from that perspective. Look, if you're going to look at an opportunity, forget about this opportunity. You're going to look at any opportunity, and I know you're looking for an opportunity, then for God's sakes, make sure you look at the people behind the opportunity first, because that is uppermost, okay? And I drove that point home. So, people first and foremost, okay? Some of the best ideas on the planet have been trashed by bad management. Some of the most ordinary products on the planet have done billions with great management, okay? And what we have with ProSpring are highly competent, highly experienced, ridiculously successful people in this industry running the show. Okay, and some of you guys know them. I know Pete knows a few. Pete knows Jamie. I thought only Pete knows Jamie here. Maybe some of the other guys have met Jamie before. But this guy is rock solid. He's salt of the earth, good Yorkshire folk, knows what he's talking about, and just makes decisions that work 90% of the time. Nobody makes 100% decision, right decision 100% of the time. But when things don't go right, they figure it out really quickly and move. Okay, so people first and foremost. Okay. The second thing I look at is the plan. Okay. Now, why do I look at the plan? Because honestly, you can have the best people in the world running the show with the most amazing marketing systems, right? With a great product, massive demand for the product. That has a real unique factor that you can really beat the drum with, and the timing is absolutely bang on because they're the first out. Nobody's ever done anything like this before. Blah de da de da. But you can't make any money on the commission plan, right? Or it's really hard. You've got to recruit billions of people to make 5p, and you got to jump through millions of hoops on a monthly basis to qualify. And the plan just doesn't make any money, right? And we've all seen them. So for me, I need to know that there is a sound financial model that can benefit me, not just immediately. I'm not in that much need for immediate money, but I want to know that I can build a residual income. I want to know that I can build a passive income that goes on for a very, very long time. I need a plan that gives me that, okay? That I can see it, and I can see how to do it, I can work it out, right? And that is what ticks my second box, is the money. I want to know there's money, okay? And we've all seen opportunities out there that look amazing, but when you actually drill down into the plan itself, it's really super tough. You've got to do a huge amounts of business. You have to qualify every single month. You have to have this. It costs you $100+ a month to keep buying your ownership of powders and juices and pills and God knows what else, soaps and stuff. You just have your house is filling up with product that you're not using, right? You're giving the damn stuff away, So, the plan is number two. Okay, you have to make sure that the plan works. And with ours, we have an amazing plan because it's based on winnings, right? And it's based on multiple people's winnings. It goes down to infinity now as you get to the higher ranks. We have unlosable blitz tickets that never lose, right? If you're building and you're retaining people, you're earning blitz points on the blitz tickets. We have personal wins. We have syndicate wins. We have multi-wins. We have blitz wins. We have all kinds of stuff going on, right, in our plan, which when you build a large team, it's scattered. It's little bits from lots of people, just amounts to a lot. And because we have this thing about, refer free, you're playing for free, people stick around, which means that we get a residual income. We can actually bank on it. So that's the second thing I look at, is the plan. And when I was speaking to these 5 prospects of mine, I went straight in with the plan first, right? And sure, I kind of had to mention what the product is a little bit, but I didn't major. I didn't talk about how it works and what what you need to do, and the various jackpot amounts and all that kind of stuff. I talked about the plan first. And we have multiple ways of making money. There's a way for people to actually participate for free forever, right? When was the last time you heard that in an opportunity, right? And with ways of building a residual income that just sustained itself on a long haul. Okay, I've never not. It's irrelevant. I mean, I've never not made money on this opportunity, but okay, that's because I was the first one in. So that's the second thing I look at is the plan. Okay, the third thing I look at is systems. Right now, you can reorder these. Some of you might want to look at the product. Someone might want to look at the systems. I look at the systems first because I want to use modern technology. I want to use email system marketing. I want to use social media. I want to use webinar systems. I want to use all these tools that are available to us. Now we can have a really exciting presentation running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that actually looks like it's live, where people join and pick a time to join the webinar, right? And they are then sent reminders of the webinar, and they literally go and watch that webinar, and they think it's live, but it's not. What's live is the chat room. The actual presentation is recorded and playing back, okay? So these systems help us to have an amazing presentation running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which means we can have people from all over the world being prospected because the webinars are 24/7. Okay, that's a system. I always want to look at the systems available in an opportunity. Okay, so with us, we're building our system. We're not there yet. This survey is going to help us to fine tune and hone it really, really sharp. Okay, so we've got a bunch of systems in place already. We've got a whole rack of other systems that are coming into play, which is going to make our life a lot easier. Okay, so I look at systems. That's the third thing I look at, and I look at it in that order. Because you have particularly a product of our type is online, right? You want to have an online product married to an online system that moves itself, okay? And that's what I think we have, okay? Then I look at the product, okay? Because if the people are no good, or the plan doesn't make me any money, or there are no systems in place to use modern technology to help us reach masses of people really quickly and effectively, then it doesn't matter about the product to me, because it's going to be hard work moving that product. Okay, if the people are not right, then I'm not joining that thing anyway. If the plan doesn't make any money, then I have no interest in it. Why would I waste my time in a plan that doesn't make any money? If there are no systems in place, then it's hard work. It makes me think whether I want to leverage my time using systems, or I want to use my hours, hitting the phones, having meetings, doing this, that, and the other presentations on a constant basis. Okay, that makes me think that. Okay, so systems. Then I look at the product. Fourth is product, and with the product, I generally like virtual products that are bona fide, legitimate, that have mass market appeal, that has a ready-made demand for it, but at the same time there is a clearly identified dissatisfaction in that product out there. I.e., we can use the Richard Branson model, where you take something that people already want, need, buy, but they're not happy with it. So you take that and make it better, make it cheaper, make it more fun, and then you will have people coming to you for that product. That's what I look for. And I think we all agree that with our lotto, it hands down knocks spots on any other lotto out there. Okay, so product next. Okay, I look at the product from a strategic perspective. Look at the industry. The lotto industry for us is massive. The diet and healthcare industry, the anti-aging industry, massive, right? Telecommunications, huge. There's lots and lots of big industries. We're also in a really big industry, okay? So, you want to look at the industry, you want to look at the future projection, right? People around the world are looking for opportunities to make extra money from home, people around the world have a hope of becoming millionaires with one lucky strike, right? And that's the Lotto product. So we have both of them combined. We have both. Whilst you're waiting for that lucky strike, you can also build an income that is equivalent to having a big strike, right? So, you know, from a product perspective, I look at it strategically. I look for a product that everybody wants, everybody buys, but can be improved significantly and make it better for people. And I think that's what we have. Okay, so when I was speaking to these 5 people, that's how I spoke about the product. I didn't actually go into the great detail. I didn't go into the fact that we have 3 jackpots. I did later on in the follow-up, but you know, initially it was like, you know, don't you want to have a product that every single adult around the world could, you know, could be a potential customer? Billions of people buy this thing all the time, and it's broken. It doesn't work, right? We've got something that fixes all that stuff and absolutely hammers every other Lotto product on the market. So that's how I spoke about the product, and guess what? It worked. Okay. Then I look at the difference. Why our product is different and better than the competition, i.e., we have an edge. Okay, we have a first mover advantage. Do we have a first mover advantage? So again, I look at it from top line. So, you know, when you're looking at a product, you want to have something that's different about it, right? You want to have something that's clearly identifiably different about your product compared to the competition. And you want to be appealing to people's frustrations about the product that they're buying right now, right? People are not happy. That's why the National Lottery in the UK's revenues have plummeted. And now they're going to plummet even more because they've royally cocked it up with this new thing they've introduced, right? So, you know, we have a big market, okay, around the world for our product. So when you talk about our product, the difference in our product is that we know that very few people ever hit the jackpot. People do hit the jackpot, and that's why lottos work. Because every time somebody hits the jackpot, it keeps everybody else's hope alive that maybe it's my turn next time. Okay, that's why lottos work, because they genuinely do make millionaires. Okay, but with ordinary lottos, there's 2 things. One, it costs you money to play every single week, and 2, you never win anything. Whereas we flipped it. 1, you can play this for free. Little bit of effort, play for free. 2, if you're playing for free, by default, you're winning stuff. Right? You're getting multi-wins, you're getting blitz points. We have completely flipped the 2 things people are completely dissatisfied about Lotto. We've flipped them. 1, it costs you money to play normal lottos every single week, and 2, you never win anything. With ours, you can play for free, and if you're playing for free, you're winning stuff regularly. Whilst you're waiting for that big hit, you know, when you wait Lady Luck to come and, you know, tap you on the shoulder and say, your turn. Whilst you're waiting for that, you can actually build an income, right? And that's the difference. The major difference is these 2 things. That's the difference, guys, okay? And when you talk about our product, when I talked about our product to these 5 people, that's how I talked about it, okay? I didn't go into the minute details. I didn't. But I just said these 2 things, right? Cost money every single week, and no one wins anything. We've flipped it around, cost you nothing, and you win things. You win prizes regularly. Okay, that's the difference. That's what makes the difference with our product. And so, you know, there has to be a difference. You know, not always. That's why it's low down on my list, number 5, right? Because sometimes you can have a product that's comparable to everybody else's product, but you've just got really good people, you've got really good plan, you know, you've got amazing systems in place, and the product will move bigger, faster, or you take a slice of that an established market just because you've got all those 3 things in place, right? So, but we've got an additional benefit because our product genuinely has an awesome difference, right? Cost people money to play normal lottos and they never win anything. We've just flipped them around. Simple as that. Okay. So that's the difference. So when I'm talking to these 5 people, I'm going to use it all the time now, right? So when I'm talking to these 5 people, by the way, I'm taking my time explaining this to you, but it took me like 10 minutes, right? It was a 10-minute phone call that I spoke to this 10-minute Skype call that I was on to get people to get really fired up about it. Okay. And I genuinely said, look, if you like these things, right? Let's get you going, right? Why? Because the timing is right. And that's my 6th point. Timing, right? So any good idea, like ProSpring, okay, is likely to be copied. No doubt about it, there'll be imitations out there at some point, okay? Every single time I've done something like this, it's always been copied, okay? Now, some will make it happen, some won't make it happen. We're not hanging around to find out. We've got first mover advantage. Nobody in the world has got this, right? Nobody. We're the only people who've got it. So now's the time to really go for it and use this timing advantage that we have, okay? And what you want to look for in an opportunity is there a timing advantage? Is there a timing advantage? If you have it, fantastic, okay? If you don't have it, but you have the other 5 points, it'll still work for you, right? But timing, that's why timing is last on my list, right? Is there good timing? We've got, in our opportunity, we've got fantastic timing here, right? So, you know, because nobody else has it, we're the first. We've got first mover advantage. In order for you to stand out, you've got to be different and or first. We're both. We are different and we're first. So we've got 2 major advantages at our disposal that we can use in our presentations to get people to act quickly, to create a sense of urgency, right? To create a sense of urgency. And then, you know, the 7th point I put in, and I always have this right at the last because it never really is a big consideration as far as I'm concerned, is the cost of entry, okay? The cost of entry. For me, if those 6 things check out, I don't care about the cost, right? Because I know it's going to work. So I will put whatever money it takes to get in. Okay. If it's a few hundred, I'll put a few. If it's a few thousand, I'll put a few thousand. I've known to put tens of thousands in before, right? So you know, the cost of entry shouldn't be the utmost concern for people looking for business opportunities, because really think about where you can go to find an opportunity for less than, you know, so a friend of mine a long time ago said to me, Prash, if you put down 25 grand for a new business, 25,000 pounds, this is like 15, 20 years ago, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get 2 buckets, a couple of sponges, some washing up liquid, and a white van, and you're in the window cleaning business. That's what you get for 25,000 pounds, or 25,000 euro, as a business opportunity, if you want a business opportunity, right? I almost spent 200,000 pounds setting up a bloody newspaper shop, selling Mars bars and newspapers and cigarettes. 200, what was, I mean, am I crazy, right? But I almost did that because I didn't know there was an alternative. So if you're talking to somebody who's looking for an opportunity, they kind of need to understand what it takes to get into a business nowadays. It ain't cheap. This opportunity, this avenue is super cheap. And then when you talk about our opportunity, oh, it's a massive 66 euro. Oh, by the way, if you just do a bit of work, that'll be your last 66 euro you'll ever spend in this thing, and you'll be on free money for the rest of your life with this. I mean, you know, it's a joke, really, right? It's a joke. It's not a business decision. This is not even a decision. Price point doesn't come into our opportunity, right? That's why, and for me, most opportunities, price point has to be last because everything else has to check out. I never view an opportunity looking at whether I can afford to be in or not. Because if it looks good, I'll find a bloody way to get in, right? Wouldn't you? If you could see yourself making money, wouldn't you do it? because you have this comparison of what it actually takes to get into business for yourself. You know, what are the options available out there? You start your own business. If it's a home-based business, great, best way of doing it. You don't have rent, rates, and all that kind of good stuff, right? Staff, maybe you have 1 or 2 staff or whatever for working from home. But, you know, you still need to buy inventory, you need to have taxes, you need to have, you know, systems, you need to have websites, you need to have technology, you need to have CRM, you need to have customer support, you need to have all of this sort of stuff if you're running your own thing, right? Now, if you want to get into the franchise business, a lot of support is given to you in franchise business, but, you know, you want to sell hamburgers and fries and milkshakes with McDonald's, that's a £1.5 million investment to sell bloody hamburgers, right? You want to set up a sandwich shop with Subway, it's £250,000 just to open a sandwich shop. Franchises, franchising is a safe route for a lot of entrepreneurs to get into business. But man, have you got that kind of cash? Do you want to risk that kind of cash in this economy today? Of course not. Look at the alternative, right? You want to look at what's available for the cash. And for us, €66, grow up. I mean, seriously. 3 people, you're never going to pay that again. This price point, I don't even consider a price decision, right? So I look at these sort of 6 points. I don't even consider price, but I look at these 6 points. People, plan, systems, products of industry, difference, the differentiating factor, uniqueness, and timing. If those 6 things check out, I get excited about the opportunity. And I literally did sit down and actually thought, what do I look for? Why, you know, what is the thing? Because when somebody talks to me about an opportunity, I'm asking questions, right? And these things just come out automatically because I've done it so often. So now that I've written them down, I actually understand how I assess business opportunities. And maybe that's a good way to speak to some of your more seasoned entrepreneurs. They may not have had experience in this industry before, but why wouldn't they consider a part-time opportunity with something like this, with the potential that it has, when it costs them no money and everything else is in place, right? So if you speak to them in a, here's the other thing actually it does for you when you're talking to prospects in this way, it actually positions you as an authority. It actually makes you look more serious to them because you're talking about stuff from a sensible commercial angle, right? And this is not for everybody. It's not for everybody, this approach. But for some of you guys who have those scary prospects that you still haven't spoken to, right? This is a good way of talking to them, right? You can talk to them and say, look, I looked at this opportunity and here's how I looked at it, okay? And you tell them how you looked at it. I looked at the people first, then I looked at the plan, then I looked at the system, then I looked at the product industry, then I looked at what was different, then I looked at the timing. And you know what you've just done? You've just pitched them. You've just pitched them in a completely different way. Might work for you. It definitely worked for me. I got 5 signups, and now I'm teaching these guys to use the same system, right? And then follow up with the presentations, the videos, the webinars, all that stuff is all follow up, right? This is enough to get their juices flowing. You've made 99% of the decision by using this, okay? And then it's just detail. The rest is just follow up and close, which we've done webinars on before, right? So I hope that's been of help, right? I'm certainly going to keep using it, okay? I'm definitely going to keep using it. If you have any feedback on that, if you use it and have some successes or failures, let me know. I'd love to know how you guys are getting on with it so that we can actually incorporate that in some of the stuff that we're doing with our team site, okay? So again, I hope that worked for you guys. Hope it helped. I want to bring on Pete really quickly because we haven't heard from Pete or David and Lorraine for a while. David and Lorraine were having a few problems with their mic earlier on, so we're going to try and give it a go again, right? Maybe Pete, you can go first and just tell us what you've been up to, what's going on, and a few words of wisdom, please.
Hey Prash, can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Super, okay. Well, look, I enjoyed that very much. I had the benefit of hearing that for the second time because we had a chat about it last week, and I've got my notes. So, talking not to you, but everybody else that's listening, let's look at the people from my point of view. Well, it was Prash. I've known him for 10 years. It was Jamie. I've known him for 10 years. I knew their track record. I was in. The plan, does it make money? Yeah, I was able to identify that, and it does. And I got the paperwork to back it up. And I've even broken it down into some stuff here. To get to star 2, you need 6 pros. You need 12 pros in your team. Why not just get 12 yourself? To get to 3, you need 8 personal. Well, if you've got the 12, you've got the 8. If you've got the 12 here, and you help those people go 2-star, you need 6 2-stars to go to 5. Deal's done. You'll go to the top of the plan. And at the top of the plan, there's a clean fortune. A clean fortune, because it goes down into ridiculous numbers. Then the systems and the tools, well, the very first tool that the company gave us, that believe it or not I still use to this day, is those 4 little pages that we got right at the start. And I still use it, even though the information on the back page is out of date. But the person I'm sitting in front of doesn't know that. Only I know that. And the product, who wouldn't like to win the lottery? Who said that? Oh yeah, that was my line. Who do you know would like to win the lottery? Game over. Ask that question, and you've got the ultimate business tool. Who do you know would like to win the lottery? So everything Prash is saying here is right. And interestingly, while he was doing that exercise with 5 new people, I had a new guy in my team in Scotland, and we sat down and worked out a plan with a conference call. And we went for his chicken list. Something Prash said, you know, if you're going to launch something like this, and it is huge, well, wouldn't you want the best people with you? So I actually worked this chap with me to create a list of everybody he knows, but to identify the top people that he would want to go into business. If he was going to launch a product in the marketplace, who would be the best people he could put in? And we got 10 of those people onto a call last Tuesday. So let me tell you about the call. It was a free conference call site, and the quality of the sound was abysmal. In fact, they could hardly hear me speak. I did the presentation. It was 15 minutes. We had to abandon the call, and we went back in afterwards and recorded it and sent them an email of it. He then followed up properly, and Prash said that, follow up properly. And from that, in 4 days, he had 4 new people. But he just didn't have 4 new people, he had 4 top quality people. And on that conference call, they couldn't see anything. It was a chat, and they heard enough to get going. So however you come to this, Prash is doing it on Skype with calls. Maybe you want to send them first. Maybe you want to do it as I did with a conference call. If you want my help to work that out, I'll be very happy to help you with it. As Prash would be very to help you work with his way. And now we've got 4 quality people, and what are we going to do? We're going to put them into exactly the same system. We'll teach them the invite that we used. And by the way, the invite didn't mention the company, it didn't mention money, it didn't do anything except that we were going to launch something extraordinary. And at the very end of the call, having asked them to join the conference call, we asked them one question. By the way, David, who do you know would like to win the lottery? Well, then you'll want to be there on Tuesday. Get on the call, it'll be 15 minutes, see you thereby. So a 10-minute invite, a 15-minute conference call, 4 people out of 10, I call that a result, and the other 6 may well still come along. Probably has ever spoken too much. Prash, chuck it back to you, my buddy.
Nice one. And I was privy to that whole process that Pete and Charlie, I think it is, that went through. Brilliant, brilliant system. I think actually, Peter, we should do next week, let's do a webinar on your system, because that really worked, and anybody can do that as well. It's another way of actually, just another you know, another, you know, method that we can add to the mix, right? And it really, really works, right? So, and then those 4 people that Pete's talking about, they're going to work together to get them their 4 or 5 people, and they're just going to go levels down. You can easily go, you know, 1, 5, 25, 1, 2, 5 in like 3 months, really easily if you do the system. And particularly if you incorporate some of the stuff that we've been talking about today and use the other stuff that we've got, the social sharing stuff, everything. Use the whole mix, and I'm sure you'll be able to, you know, get value from it. So Pete, let's do that next week, next Wednesday. Should we do that? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, cool. David and Lorraine, should we try to get you to say a few words, see if your mic works? Do you want to just come and say a few words, see if it works? Oh, no, can't hear you. I know. Next week we'll do a dummy one again, like we used to. We've become a little bit complacent with our webinars here. So really sorry. Would love to hear from you. I know you've been chomping at the bit of a few words. I know, but maybe next week. Yeah. Is it okay, guys? Cool. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. It's been an hour. Wow. That's the quickest we've ever done it. So appreciate you being here. This is being recorded as always. We'll go up on the team side. Anybody that you feel would benefit from hearing what we spoke about today, then get them along to the team side and get to watch this webinar. I also urge you to watch it again and make notes, because those 6/7 points, particularly how to position a business opportunity in the modern world with entrepreneurs, particularly people who've never experienced anything like this before, it's the comparison. What else can you do to progress your life in business that's not gonna laden you with headaches, infrastructure, costs, and all that kind of stuff compared to what we've got? Okay, what else can you do really? So have a listen to this again if you found it of value, and share it with everybody else as well. And look out for an email coming out from me next week. We're going to have another one, and Pete is going to be the speaker next week, and he's going to cover. Sorry to drop in this, Pete, but your system worked, right? We only want to talk about stuff that works, and we've got clear momentum. Maybe even bring Charlie along, Pete, to the call and have Charlie talk about it, because you know no one's heard from Charlie, and Charlie's a new individual in the business, just joined, just referred his first 4 people, and he's working that system. Okay, so maybe that might be an idea if he's willing to come and say a few words. I'm sure people would appreciate hearing from a brand new person who's gaining momentum using a system and the support mechanism that's been offered by the upline. Okay, and by the way, guys, if you feel I want to try something, right? I want to try doing a presentation along the lines of these 6 points. Guys, we're here just to talk about an opportunity that we've all got involved with, and I want to tell you how I analyzed this opportunity and how I made my decision to join and why I decided to join. Okay? This is a conversation about what I did and what I found out and what made me join. It's not a direct pitch to you. Okay? And I would love to get 10, 15 prospects on a call, on a webinar like this, and for me to just cover that stuff and see if we have any results from that. I'm pretty sure we will. Okay? So if you guys are up for it, I want to get some emails from you saying, Prash, I'm up for it. If I get 15, 20 people saying, yes, I'm up for it, then I'll put it on. Okay? So look out for my email for next week's webinar. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate your support, as always. And have a great week, and look out for some stuff coming up from the company too. Okay? Thanks, guys, and speak soon. Bye-bye.